Good morning, Kenya. This is Kenya News Alert. Karibuni sana. Today is on the 8th of April. Welcome you to the Morning Tea Show. I'm your host, Zulfa, and who am I here with?
Good morning, guys. You're here with Tilda, as usual, the birthday girl today in the house.
I even forgot.
So welcome, guys. We welcome to Kenya News Alert TV. Just tune in, like, subscribe, and share. Tell a friend of a friend to come and join us on this Kenya News Alert to listen to the public or to the public and politics that we are talking about our own government in our own country. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is Plain San Felix. I welcome you to the Morning Tea Show, Kenya News Alert. Thank you. Happy birthday, my sister.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, you're done. You know, I'm waiting for you to say something else. So if you're done, okay. Tuende kwenye magazeti. Na before kwenye magazeti, hapo kwenye screen yako there's a number. Please do use that number to communicate to us. You could text on WhatsApp, or you could call, or just be on the live chats commenting. Yes? Tuende kwenye Taifa Leo. Kwenye Taifa Leo kuna polisi waruka PCA kuhusu wahuni walovamia Gachagua. Na kuna Siaya, kaunti ambayo MCAs wamebobea kutimua viongozi, afueni machifu waliotekwa na Al-Shabaab siku 60 zilizopita kuashiliwa, na huzuni polisi akiangamiza wanao wawili shemeji na kujitoa uhai. Tuanze na ya Gachagua. So siku moja baada ya milio risasi, majeruhi na tenda bilehu kushuhudiwa katika kanisa la PCA Mwiki Kasarani, Nairobi, uongozi wa kanisa hilo umetoa maelezo kuhusu kisa hicho. Mnamo Jumapili Aprili 6 mwaka huu, shughuli ya kuchangisha pesa za kukamilisha mradi wa ujenzi wa kanisa la PCA lilikumbwa na fujo, wahalifu walivyovamia dakika chache baada ya aliyekuwa naibu rais Rigathi Gachagua kuwasili. Polisi wenye sare rasmi hawakuonekana wakati wa milio ya risasi, huku walinzi wa kibinafsi walioandamana na bwana Gachagua wakikabiliana na wahalifu hao waliposikika wakiitisha pesa. Hata hivyo, kulingana na mmoja wa viongozi wa kanisa hilo waliozungumza na Taifa Leo, kituo cha polisi cha Mwiki kilichoko umbali wa kilomita 1 kutoka hapo kilikuwa na habari kwamba kungekuwa na shughuli kubwa. Kiongozi huyo wa PCA Mwiki, ambaye aliomba tubane jina lake, alikiri kuwa kuarifu kituo hicho kwa njia rasmi. Tulijulisha polisi siku moja kabla, japo kwa njia ya mdomo, kwani hatukuwa na uhakika kuwa wanasiasa wangehudhuria, akaeleza. Kanisa hilo lilisema halikuwa na uhakika kwamba bwana Gachagua angehudhuria shughuli ya kuchangisha pesa, licha ya kwamba hawali aliwadokezea kuwa angeshiriki mchango kanisani humo. Hata hivyo, hatukuwa na uhakika kabisa kwamba hangefika. Hiyo ndio maana hatukuwa andikia polisi barua rasmi kuomba ulinzi. Kiongozi alisema hivyo. So what would you say about that? Because I think now we're getting the extension of the story of Gachagua Fiti. Jana we had the goons were there. Now people are asking, mbona polisi kama Gachagua was coming, why there was not enough security? So now the PCA leaders are claiming that they didn't know for sure if Gachagua was going to show up. So actually that is why they did not search for police ama security. What would you say about that?
But venye mimi nimesikia hapo ni waliwaambia wale polisi lakini kwa mdomo. Hawakuandika barua rasmi. Unajua hata kama ukiwa mkubwa wa polisi umeambiwa kitu kwa mdomo. Unafaa uchukue hata kama ni askari wawili waambie nendeni muone kama the former DP amefanya aje, fika amekuja pale kwenye kwa lile kanisa. Angetumana aone kama wale wakuja wamwambie ndio amefika, alete ulinzi mwingine. That what our police should do, the general should do, I think so. Cause uliambiwa na mdomo na aliambiwa na mdomo cause hawa hawakuwa sure na yeye pia hangekuwa sure. Lakini sasa at least angetuma hata kama ni wawili, hata mmoja. Huyu mmoja angearifu wengine amefika. At least ndio kukue na hiyo ulinzi. But nao pia wali assume. Na hata pia I can blame the church. Wenye Gachagua alifika pia nao wangealert the police. At least kukue na ulinzi better. Kila mahali kuna makosa. So lazima tutoe huku makosa na tutoe huku makosa. Kuna huyu at least angetuma mmoja, na huyu at least huyu angefika na yeye pia angesema kule mapema. Yeah, at least to make work easier for some people.
Okay, so wacha tusikie maoni pia ya Felix. Okay. So taarifa hiyo iliongeza kuwa maafisa wa polisi kutoka kituo cha Mwiki waliosikia milio ya risasi katika kanisa hilo walielekea huko na kuwakabiliwa wahalifu hao waliotoroka na utulivu ukarejea. So that must have been so tense. As we said yesterday, that is so sad for maybe the children who are there, the old people, basically for everyone involved. That is just so sad. Because mimi sitaki kwenda church alafu nianze kusikia milio ya nini. Now that one no. So Siaya, kaunti ambayo MCAs wamebobea kutimua viongozi wakuu serikalini. Bunge la kaunti ya Siaya sasa limegeuzwa uwanja wa sarakasi, huku madiwani wakiwasilisha hoja ya kuwatimua mawaziri katika utawala wa Gavana James Orengo, wakati ambapo bunge lenyewe limekashifiwa kutokana na utendakazi duni. Waziri wa biashara Grace Agola ndiye wa hivi punde kujipata pabaya baada ya diwani wa Ungenya Mashariki Frederick Omoro kuwasilisha hoja ya kumtimua. Mnamo mwaka wa 2023, naibu gavana William Odwal alitumuliwa na bunge la kaunti, lakini akaokolewa na seneti. Naye alikuwa waziri wa maji Dr. Julie Onyango aliondolewa madarakani pia mwaka huo kupitia hoja hiyo ya madiwani. Bunge la kaunti sasa limekashifiwa na mashirika ya kijamii, wanawake na viongozi wa kisiasa, ambacho wanadai kutumuliwa kwa viongozi ni njama ya madiwani kuwafumba macho kisha kujitayarisha kisiasa. Chris Owala, ambaye ni afisa mkuu mtendaji wa shirika la kijamii la CAGK, amesema kuwa madiwani wanatumia hoja za kuwatimua mawaziri kwa manufaa yao kibinafsi. So basically these people wakikaa wakifeel wanataka kuimpeach, wana impeach tu.
Maybe. Asa hapo ndio imefika.
So Felix, unaweza tuambie ni kuhusu story?
Truly I have no say, because some of the issues that do rise, they rise because of a reason. Zingine unapata zimepangwa, zingine unapata zinajileta tu kwa sababu maybe ni situation zingine anyway. But the fact is, we really need to be very serious at once and be careful at the same time. This is a life situation, and anything concerning life situation inakuwa very, very hard to understand and treat it. Yes, that is what I have. Tilda.
Yes.
Yesterday at around ilikuwa 7:30 hapo. Rigathi Gachagua alifanya nini? Alituletea issue yenye angetaka Wakenya wengi waelewe, and at some point I saw people running here and there wakijaribu ku make their moves so that they can maybe get home early, ndio wafanye nini, wafikie hiyo story ya Rigathi Gachagua. Yes. Ulimuangalia, ulimjoin?
Literally for me, I did not join, I did not watch. Jana sasa sijui mimi nilikuwa nimechoka kiasi gani.
Jana aliyazungumza mengi sana. And I think it is all about still politics. But sasa shida mimi huwa najiulizanga kitu moja. Yes?
Yeah.
How can we truly trust these people that whatever we are trying to see and hear from them is what they really mean?
You know, it can be so very difficult for us to understand these politicians. Because huyu atakuja aseme mambo yake, aweke kando. Mwingine akuje amjibu aseme yake. Yani, there is that one person, or these all people, these all politicians, hakuna ule mwenye anataka kushindwa, hakuna ule mwenye anataka kusemwa. Because huyu akisema vibaya lazima akuje arudishe ubaya ya huyu mwingine. So they is like they are competing. That's why we can never understand them. Na sasa hata uwezi kujua which person will you follow.
Unajua like let me tell you this. Kuna jamaa fulani mwenye aliwauliza ili swali, na sijui kama labda kuna mwenye pia anaweza jaribu kujibu ili swali. Alikuwa anasema yes, of course, Rigathi Gachagua all in all ako nje na anajaribu ku-enlighten Kenya about all these issues. Yes. This is the question. Mbona wakati alikuwa kwa serikali hakujiondoa mwenyewe so that akuje kutuambia like this is what is going on in the government, lakini akasubiri wabunge wakamuimpeach akaanza sasa kuwapiga. Sawa? What can you say about that?
The problem with this politician is one. Meaning that hata yeye angekuwa bado kwa serikali, bado game mbaya zingekuwa zinaendelea kuchezwa pale. And then because why they speak when they are outside the parliament or the government, I think there is that one person who want to show out his or her cleanness, while see hakuna any cleanness there. Hawa watu wote ni wachafu. Because hata yeye alikuwa pale, meaning that the same thing he is saying right now, hata yeye alikuwa kwa hiyo game. Kwa hizi tuambia watu walikuwa wanafanya kama yana amekaa na waangalia. He was there. So he's saying what is happening there because ako nje. Ametolewa. But angekuwa pale, hakuna siku angesema siri hata moja hapo. And even we can't trust because atujui kama ni ukweli ama ni uongo. Maybe anataka tu kutengeneza jina yake tuone yeye ni mzuri. Tuone Ruto ni mbaya. And maybe hakuna something like that. So these people, the problem with them, wakiwa pale kwa government, utasikia mtu anasema government ni mbaya, government wanaiba pesa, government inafanya hivi, lakini akishatolewa ofisini ako nje, sasa ni mwananchi wa kawaida. Ndio sasa anaweza kuja kuambia venye Ruto Ruto ni corrupt, Ruto ako unfit to be the president, Ruto anafanya hivi vitu ina happen ni Ruto. Unasikia hakuna mahali anajisema na amekuwa hapo. So what I can just, if I could just be given time to speak to Mr. Gachagua right now, what I could ask him is, you are our former DP. I just want to ask you, a question. Why wakati ulikuwa pale kwa government au kwa unatuambia yale yanaendelea pale, lakini wakati umetoka ndiposa unakuja kutueleza nini kimefanya utuelezee na nini kilifanya usituelezee wakati ule. We should have to ask him these such questions. Mbona saa hizi ndio unasema? Meaning that right now ungekuwa bado kwa government, still ungekuwa na vitu fishi zinaendelea pale na sisi hatujui. Pia wewe ungekuwa hapo unafanya the same thing that these other people are doing, that you are saying outside right now, which is too late. Unajua kukikuwa na mbunge pale kwa government, aone there is something going wrong, and this Kenyans should know what is happening. Akuja aseme nimeona Ruto amechukua bilioni ngapi, ameweka mahali fulani kwa akaunti yake, nimeona amechukua zile pesa zenye anasemanga za barabara, ile tax mlalipa, naona anafanyia hivi akiwa pale kwa government, aimpichiwe ndio tujue anaongea the reality, that's why ametolewa. Lakini unasikia tu mtu ametolewa for, yani hata vitu zingine zenye hazieleweki, ndio akitoka pale ndio anakuja kutuambia. So you know you can't trust these people. You can't. Mimi nataka one just one person, one MP or whoever, governors or wenye tu ako kwa government, aanze tu kusema the truth while he or she is inside the government, not outside. Unajua si wanatubo. Justin Muturi ametoka hapo ndio akakuja kusema sijui Mr. Ruto
mtu akishatoka.
Nani kama amesha impichiwa ndio anasema ananika sasa nani. Sasa hiyo inatusaidia na nini? Haitusaidii. Nataka ukiwa pale sema president afanyangi kazi yake ni kufanya hivi na hivi. Pesa yenye alisema ya kitu fulani aliweka kwa account yake na imefanya hivi na hivi kwake. Hiyo pesa haijafanya kitu. Pesa zenye anasema anatenga za barabara hakuna pesa, mimi sijaziona. Si mimi natembea na president, si mnanionanga na yeye. Nimechunguza nimeamua niwaambie wa Kenya aone kama akitolewa pale hatutamrudisha. That's what we only want. But don't just you are outside the government ndio unakuja kutuambia the president sijui nani sijui fulani unajua sasa mimi yeye nani. Sasa hiyo inatusaidia
inaka hata kama unasema ukweli. Kuna mtu sijui anataka kupita mbaye ama anataka sijui if I'm forgetting that name, he was appointed CS of something, and in ule wakati ambao ma-CS wengi they wanted to resign because apparently they were saying that things happen uko ndani that they don't even know. So Peter Mbaye said, mimi nimekuja pale na mdogo wangu ndo anataka kuanza kutoa rules. Mdogo wangu nikijaribu kumweleza vitu fulani yeye anataka kutoa rules. Na nimekaa nimefeel najua ni aje. Let me say right now, because like 5 years from now you will say your department ilikuwa ni Peter, sijui ni Peter Mbaye anaitwa aje something. Sawa, but they spoke up when they were there, and I think they resigned from that position. Sawa, if I'm not wrong, please someone do correct me if I am wrong. Sawa, but that is the thing. Ongea ukiwa hapo tujue ulitolewa sababu
uliongea ukweli.
But when you come later, you might be speaking the truth. You might be telling the people the truth.
But we can't believe.
Obviously, unajua kuna kitu moja, like in law, there's this one thing that lawyers do. So, they just have to prove a beyond reasonable doubt. Ako tu kadogo ako. Iyo nikisha panda tu yo doubt into you. Ama nikisha convince this then that this one shouldn't yes sababu ya hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi na hivi, then that is the reason. So like right now they are gonna prove beyond reasonable doubt that Gachagua is just a bitter ex. Unaona, because when you ask that question usha create your doubt. Ukisha uliza swali, mbona haukuongea ukiwa ndani ya serikali? Mbona haukusema haya mambo ukiwa ndani ya serikali? Mbona haukusema? Actually you're going to play that video in a few. Sawa, for those who did not see that live. Sawa, but the thing is, why didn't you speak up when you were there?
mimi nikikutana na yeye lazima nimwambie tu, we you are the former DP, I really respect you so much and I really love you as my former DP, and I did not like the way they threw you out. But the thing here is, I want to ask you, why didn't you say these all things that you are saying right now when you were in the government? Ungetuambia Ruto ni muongo, ile vitu huwa anasema anadanganya. Mbona ungetuambia hizo vitu zenye anafanya hivi na hivi na hivi? At least ungejua umekuwa impeached because of talking the truth. My friend, ungeongea ukiwa pale na uimpichiwe, ungetoka nje. Wala ungetoka, ungerudi hapo ndani.
Hata ungetoka bado, hata kama hata ungetoka, lakini hata next way maybe ndio ungekuwa president. You see? So don't get out of the government, then come start speaking, is it the reality or is it the uongo? We don't know. Tunajua kuna wale yani ndio tunaweza sema ni ukweli juu ulikuwa kwa government, ama tuseme hii ni uongo juu sasa hatujui. Labda wewe unaongea hii maneno juu umetolewa huko, hauna kasalari. You are trying revenge.
Which even hata huwezi pata sahi. Cause unajua kupiga mtu revenge ni ngumu sana. Kupiga mtu revenge ni ngumu. Anataka ufanye juu unaenda hapo, inafaa uende process mingi ndio umfikie. So these people, you should talk when you are in the government. I wish you kwa nini jana siku watch news. I was just tired and sleepy.
I didn't get to watch that live, sawa, but I had some pointers. So kama producer anaweza cheza hiyo video ya Gachagua akisema kuhusu Ruto, it will be good, so that we may get it from there. Tusikize from the horse's mouth.
Tusikie amesema nini at least.
Okay. So as a producer anaangalia hiyo video haipati. But for a moment there, sawa, tulikuwa tuongelea kuhusu impeachment ya watu wa nini, the MCAs of uko Siaya. They do impeachment every time they feel like impeaching.
Kama ufanye job unakuwa impeached, go home. But if they are doing the right thing, yenye wanaona wakifanya hivi wako satisfied nayo, mtu afanye kazi aende, it's okay. Lakini kama ni mchezo wanafanya, pia unajua kuna wengine inakuwa ni mchezo. Kuna wengine inakuwa ni mchezo kabisa. But if they feel like wanaweza mtu afanye kazi na tuoni kazi yenye anafanya, na kama anasema anafanya kazi atuonyeshe ni kazi gani amefanya, gani na gani na gani. Kama anaona amefanya kazi ya kutosha yenye afai kuwa impeached, afanye nini? Atolewe. Na kama amefanya yenye akae, aendelee na kazi. Unageta? So unajua we wanna when like the MCS, the MPs and the governors, when they decide to do something, maybe wameona na wanaona ni kweli kitu haifanyiki. Na before you impeach someone else, angalia wewe kazi yako iko sawa. Wewe ndio next victim. Wewe ndio tumekuangalia. So don't just kutoa mwingine kwa nini hapo. Alafu unakuja tunaangalia wewe pia kazi yako haijafanyika. Hiyo ziko hapo. Ukitoa mwingine na wewe pia tunakutoa. So you gonna just people, you have to be serious with what you are doing. You have to make sure that if you impeach another person, make sure your work is perfect, because there is no one who is perfect, my friend. Wezi kuwa tu perfect hivyo jamani. Wewe ukitoa mwingine hajafanya job, na wewe pia make sure job yako iko perfect. Hakuna mahali kuna makosa, because unaenda kuimpeach mwingine, inafaa make sure yako haina makosa kabisa. Yeah.
Rambo sitoe, how do they say that kitu kadogo kwa macho ya mwenzako wakati uko na the entire log, uko na mti mzima kwa macho yako. So we're waiting for that.
Usitoe mwingine kitu kwa macho ilhali hujatazama yako.
Yes, that is true. But like, how long do you think this thing of Gachagua and Ruto is gonna go on for?
It will go forever. Hii watagongananga tu hivyo. Ruto, Gachagua, Justin Muturi, whoever. But Justin Muturi, the way you see him, si mtu wa kuongea sana. Ni kama ataongea na haiachane. But Gachagua ni mtu wa mdomo. Watarushana sana.
Gachagua will speak.
Gachagua ataongea. Juu kama angekuwa mtu wa kunyamaza, unaona venye alikuwa impeached, angetulia tu.
Angeenda tu nyumbani
atulie. You know, Kenyans could just go back, find Gachagua, wamrudishe. Lakini sasa yeye anaenda anaamka, anafikiria tu Ruto alifanya hii, wacha niende niseme. Tena akienda akilala, akiamka, akiota kidogo anaota Ruto, anaamka, wacha niende niseme. Now that's the problem. Sasa watarushana tu hivi. 2027 ifike tuone wataendelea. Na unaona pia wanaendelea, but still midomo yao inagongana tu, kupigana huku wanaendelea tu. So you never know this fight. Na fight ya huko juu najua sisi ndio tunaumia hapa chini. Because if Gachagua continues fighting the president, the president will not work. Yeye na atapotelea na ya siwezi chafuliwa jina hivi mpaka niisafishe.
Then kazi ifanyike.
So kazi inabaki huko, iko pending, wako huko kwa vita zao.
Yes.
Kama wanataka kupigana tu basi mangumi, wakutane tu wapigane mangumi mahali walikutana kwa field, wakipeana mikono, you are my deputy president, you are the president, tuende. Wakutane hapo walimane mangumi, hasira ziishe, kazi zisonge. So huyu anapiga huku mdomo, huyu anapiga huku mdomo. We won't work. Kenya won't go forward. Kenya ita move. Kenya itasimama. And we doesn't want to see that. Tunataka tuone tukisonga mbele, at least tuone at least kazi inafanyika, tuone at least vitu ziko sawa, tuone at least madeni tumelipa imeisha, hatuna madeni. Hii kitu ya madeni actually inabo. Tunaongezwa tax tunalipa, madeni zinaongezeka. What are we doing?
You I don't even get it, Tilda.
What are we doing actually? Seriously?
What is happening?
Yani tunamongezewa tax, si ndio? Tunalipa tax.
Hii tax ndio ilikuwa iongezewe ndio ilipe madeni.
Yeah. Bado madeni yenyewe inaongezewa. Yani hatupunguzi, tunaongeza. Next time China wanakuja kubeba Kenya. Na tunawapiga na mawe vibaya sana. Naambia mwenye alikopa mbebeni muende naye. Tutapeana tu Ruto. Ende na wao wamalizane huko. Juu ameongeza tax, ameongeza vitu kwa. Ameongeza yani kila kitu.
Mimi kwa nasema if these people really want to fanya kama Traore, wanaweza lipa madeni yote. Because I heard it is more than 2 billion daily ya tax, bado madeni zinakopa.
Yani the problem with our country is corruption. Hiyo corruption ikistop, hata isipo, let me be just sure, hatuwezi sema corruption inaweza isha. Haiwezi isha. But wakipunguza hiyo corruption, kama mtu anachukuanga 1 million apunguza hata ikue basi a quarter million basi. Hizi zingine aeke zilipe made. At least ipunguze ndio at least tuone tunafanya kitu. Unajua hata ukiibia mtu, uendangi unamuibia kila kitu shwari. Mwachie hata sufuria na gas, hata at least achemshe maji akunywe. Ama ukibeba gas mwachie jiko. Sasa ukibeba gas ubebe jiko, ubebe paka na sufuria na vyombo zote, paka na kitanda na baki nani. You don't steal everything. Mbakishie hata ile kidogo. At least. But sasa these people of ours wanapewa mshahara, wanachukua kwa serikali pesa, wanaweka kwa mifuko zao. Zile pesa za maendeleo hawafanyi maendeleo, wanaweka kwa mfuko. Kama wanaona hizo pesa za maendeleo hawezi fanya maendeleo, wachukue walipe deni.
Wakitubaki tuko Africa country.
Na tuhamishe watu wenye wanatusumbua Kenya. Ukiingia hapa umekuja kama tourism, you are a tourism. Maliza tourism yako.
Tourist.
Hatutaki tourist. Tukue yani country yenye iko na peace, yenye yani haina any inconvenience with any country. I think tutakuwa vizuri sana. Na tuanze kutafuta vitu at least. Sisi sasa ndio tunawauzia. Hao sasa wanakuja hata kuitisha deni. Kenya, we are a rich country. I don't know why tunakaa maskini. We have these all properties in Kenya that people just comes from outside the country. Wanakuja tu kuona. Mtu anatoka tu US anakuja kuona mlima, imagine. Kenya mtakuwa rich. Mtu anakuja tu anaona kuja kuona mti ilipandwa miaka 100 iliyopita. Mtu ametoka tu amekuja kuona.
Apparently Kenya is the cradle of mankind.
Yeah.
So people obviously going to want to come to Kenya and see where humanity started.
Yes.
So that is money.
Alafu mnaniambia yeye mmesoma kwa na madeni. What's that?
Tuateseka kama citizens. Kwani where is that money going? But Gachagua ametuambia pale pesa inaenda, amesema pesa inaenda kwa mfuko ya mtu.
Pesa zinaenda kwa mfuko ya mtu.
For how long has that been happening?
For a very long time.
Even when he was there.
Yeah.
So
alizi tuambia ati ni saa hizi naenda juu yuko. Hata hizo zilikuwa zinaingia kwa mfuko yake.
Ni pesa zingi.
Sasa zingi. Sasa nitapata wapi hiyo do? So I have to spoil this. But you spoil ndio inaongezeka. That is now the biggest problem. You spoil na bado inaendelea. Wewe utapiga mdomo huko, lakini yeye pesa yake inaingia kwa mfuko. Wewe piga tu shauri yako. Ikijisikia ni kutumia ka 200 hapo na kutumia. Ukitaka ureverse.
But it is not fair. It is not fair.
It's rent.
I usually ask right now. I do respect Mr. Gachagua, but how is that information not helping us right now?
Say tusaidie. Kwani tutaenda kupiga
like at this point feel to share Jom jamani corrupt. Thank you so much, because kama ungebonga maana tungekuwa tunajua hizi vitu. So like you are the first courageous person to actually really speak about this. That is really good. But right now it is not helping us. Right now inafanya huyu mtu anarudi back into kufanya campaign, kujaribu kukava where you're injecting. So as long as you're injecting, he's not doing his work. And us as citizens tunaumia. So basically this thing, it's helping no one. Yes, Fiti tunam discredit. Fiti is not unfit to be the president. But right now, we don't need that information.
Tusaidie. Unajua Kenya inafaa ikuwe that country of... Kenya inafaa ikuwe that country of... campaign, mkisha piga kura, the president amekuwa... Wanasema amekuwa amefanyiwa nini?
Sworn in.
Kuna word nilikuwa natafuta but siipati. Akisha beba hiyo Biblia yake, ama kama ni Muislamu anabeba hiyo Qurani yake, ameingia pale, campaign inafaa iishi hapo. Hapo ndio campaign inakatwa. Na hatufai kusikia mtu yote akiongelelea campaign anywhere. Sijui ni coming what years, mwaka mwenye tunapiga campaign ishi hapo. Campaign yaanze mwaka wa mwisho.
Yes. Hapo sasa ndio kuintroduce candidates.
Yeah. At least mtu aanze kusema mimi nataka nitasimama hiyo mwaka. Nasimama hii. Hiyo yes. we can give you that term. Lakini sasa hii mwaka president eko sasa ameketi pale, ni kazi iendelee. Lakini sasa president tushamweka kwenye ofisi, ndio mwingine anasema amebiwa kura, ndio mwingine anasema sijui ni uongo, ndio mwingine anasema hule sijui nini, ndio mwingine anakuja. Sasa hakuna kazi inaendelea, hakuna kitu ambacho kinafanyika, watu wanapotelea wapi? Kwa campaign. So Kenyans, my fellow Kenyans, my fellow people, what you have to do is, watu inafaa tu tuwakomesha. Na sisi tu ndio tuwakomesha. Tunawaambia tukishaweka
tuanze kuencourage.
Tukishaweka pale campaign imeisha. Hatutaki kusikia nani anakuja mahali fulani tukimbia.
It should be even constitutionally wrong.
Yeah.
Wewe ukishaingia ukianza campaign unatolewa.
Hivyo. Hata ukiwa uko kwa government.
There's no campaigning when you're on that seat.
No.
Any seat at all. Any government.
If you campaign, it means bado ndio unataka kuanza. Enda nyumbani utaanza vizuri.
Hapa kuna Mary Wainaina anasema once you elect a president, he should start working, period.
Yeah.
Yes. Yani tujui tunafaa to amend the constitution ibaki once you sit on that seat. Hata ufai kusoma juu ya gari yoyote. Wewe unafaa kuja unatoa tu pressure. Au tusikusikie uko huku unasema eti unajua yule na yule, no.
Kama ni pesa umeenda
unakuwa neutral.
Umeenda kutoa mlima, ingia tu kwa gari yako. Enda, peana pesa, ongea na hao hapo, imeisha.
Now it has been like when you look at this years, imekuwa campaign.
Hiyo ni campaign.
Tangu akalie kiti campaign.
Sasa kazi hata Ruto anafanya saa ngapi?
Sasa ndo kuzindua na kutenga. I don't know kama producer ya video iko ready.
Before ataanza kucheza hiyo video, my sisters, by the way, nimewasikiza sana and I really appreciate the way you are trying to share your ideas and even the way you are trying to generate your ideologies. I'm totally good with that way. So this is what maybe I may also need you to understand. When you really know that this is the government that is leading the country, and at some point you have come to realize that there are some of the issues that you are not happy with, si mbaya kushare hata kama isha kwa late. You might find that, let me tell you the truth, you will never see whether you are going wrong until somebody mwenye kukando yako amekurekebisha. Unaona? Na siwezi mtetea rigadi, but the fact is whatever he's trying to do si mbaya. He is also doing good, but at the wrong time, yes. But he is doing what? He is doing good. Kuna vitu zingine, my sisters, maybe amekuwa kishare and at the same time zina happen right now na yuko kwa government. Pia tunaweza sema like ni kama bado amekuwa wapi tangu hiyo time? No. Kuna some of the information anapatia wananchi yenye pia sisi kama wananchi tunafaa kuifikiria mara mbili, sawa? And at the same time we really need to consider his word, because you might not know whether he is right and he is helping you. But in most cases nyinyi ndio mnafaa kuona mtu, kwani nyinyi ni watu wenye hamna akili zenye zinaweza feel like mtu anatuchezea matuchezei. So we really need to be very careful. You understand? Another thing, alijaribu kuzungumzia RSSF. Akasema ile video ilikuwa inasema aje, like the president is of knowledge. Na wakati tulijaribu kufuatilia story hiyo RSSF, those individuals came here not because they came to plan for what maybe he was trying to talk about, according to the information we can see. And if that is the case, please, will he mind maybe to give a solution over that? Because you cannot maybe give us the information minus giving us what? The solution on what to do. Criticizing the government is not bad, and it is also constitutionally good, but there is also a way we really need to do it to avoid chaos between Kenyans and the government. And another thing, the president amekuwa kitua Mount Kenya Gachagua alikuwa anasema like he was not promoting development, ni alikuwa na launch vitu zenye hata hazijakamilika, and at the same time anakuja kuanzisha vitu zenye alikuwa ameanzisha already. That might be the point or not might be the point, but watu wa kutoka huko was individual people wameshout, wamesimama, wamesema this is what is going on. Does it mean that Gachagua ndio maybe akili ya kila mtu wa mlima? Tunataka pia tuone watu wa mlima, individual people. Unajua like si vizuri tuone tunasikiza Gachagua tunamwamini, and at the same time to president akienda kwa mlima tunaona watu wanamshangilia. Nyinyi mandana zangu mnaweza sema nini? Gadi anatuambia hii, lakini president akifika huko tena tunaona kwa videos watu wanamshangilia kabisa, wako sawa na yeye kabisa. Now then what are we supposed to know? Ni information gani tunafaa kuwork nayo? Yes.
So basically, let me read comments hapa as we that is Gypsy. Hi Zulfa. Hi, asema hi Felix.
Hi Gypsy, good. Welcome
asema,
Gypsy.
Hi Mom Tilda.
Okay, hi Gypsy.
Kuna Mary Wainaina asema this campaign is wasting a lot of money that could be used for better purposes. And that one, yes. Then Gypsy is like, hi Mary Wainaina, nice to see you. Nice to see you too, Gypsy. That is Mary. Now let me say one thing. When that support hii point ya Mary, sababu the more this person is using that money to go to Busia, to go to Kilifi, to go to where, to go to Murima, that is money being used. But then why was he going to Murima? No, it is good that the president was there, but what was the main purpose?
Kuzindua
miradi gani?
Ile miradi yake barabara, masitima, whatever.
That is why nilikuwa najaribu kusema hivi, unaona watu wenye wanaweza wakatuweka wazi siri kati Gachagua. Sawa? Ni wale watu wenye wako huko chini kabisa kama wewe. Wanafaa hata watuambie aje ile project yenye president alifanya nini? President alilaunch, hatujaona chochote tangu aende. Ni kama hizo vitu zimesimama, if possible warusha hata picha kwa mtandao. Tujue. Okay, personally niliona gari za Kenya Power zikikuwa launch duko mali yule mama wa NYS alikuwa anaitwa nani? Yule mama mwenye walisemanga aliskonda pesa za NYS anaitwa nani?
Waiguru
Kirinyaga. Si yeye ndio governor hapo. Niliona gari za Kenya Power zikikuwa launch hapo. Watu wa huko wanafaa watuambie zile vitu zilikamilika. Sawa?
Kazi inaendelea ama iendelee. Unajua usienda kuzindua
kama inaendelea,
acha watu hivyo.
Unaona kama inaendelea, then to observe maneno ya Gachagua pia. Unanielewa? Tusimsikize Rigathi na tusahau kusikiza wananchi wenyewe wanasema nini kuhusiana hiyo. Unaona? Na by the way mimi siwezi sema like Rigathi pia si eti ni mjanja ni anatumia advantage kuongea government vibaya. No, kuna maneno mengine anaongea by the way yako so convincing. Na Wakenya wanafaa kukuwa so careful nayo maneno. So what the caution. So if possible watu wa Mount Kenya wenye wanakuwa, maybe for those Mount Kenya people who are maybe watching us right now, please can you share your views right now and say what is going on in the ground? Na mkuwe truthful so that Wakenya wengine tujue.
And then these people should make us sometimes understand. Unajua Rigathi hizi kuja tunashangilia, tunachia, tunaruka
at the same time kwa ground ya Mount Kenya ni nini iko huko.
Ruto amekuja the president the same way. So they are confused.
Ni confused.
Yani sasa uelewi wako wapi?
Ni confusion.
Yani hata wenyewe hata waelewi. Me if I can't get time or get just some people of Mrima, naweza wauliza tu mind yenu iko wapi? What are you thinking about this? What are you thinking about the president? What the president is doing, is it right? And then what Gachagua is doing, is it right? Mwache ku confuse watu. Unajua huyu anakuja mnafurahi. Huyu anakuja mnafurahi. Sasa hata si huyu akikuja at least watu mnasema hapana hapa kuna makosa hivi na hivi na hivi rekebisha. rekebisha. Huyo akikuja akiongea kitu ambaye ni uongo, mwambie hapana, hapa unasema uongo, iko hivi na hivi na hii. At least you have to talk. Si ati mtu anakuja kelele, mnachia, mnafanya, mnashangilia, ndio Gachagua akuje, yani sasa hata mnafanya hata watu wenyewe wajile wanaona tu wako sawa na hata hawako sawa. Kosoa mtu akiwa na makosa, rekebisha mtu mahali ambapo panafaa kurekebishwa.
Call the spade.
Yeah, and call a spoon a spoon. Hapana kutuchanganya. Juu unajua mile kitu, kuna kitu inafanyikanga church. Pale church kuna kuanga na waimbaji. Kuna ule mwimbaji akisimama aimbe, mtu atakuwa tu Bwana. Na kuna mwingine akiimba, watu wanashangilia. So inafaa tena hao wananchi wakuwe hivi in the government. Hapana usmailishe tu mtu hapo kumuonyesha meno na unajua tu unafanya wrong thing.
So Gypsy anasema on that point, sawa. Felix, if you don't criticize this 13th government, is like we are entertaining and giving them a pass to abuse. The public office is not a campaigning hub, and you know right now it has already been made a campaigning hub.
Yeah.
Okay, this is my also response to Gypsy. Gypsy, I'm not saying that we should not criticize that government, and I'm not discouraging anybody to not do so. But the fact is, let us truly go to the ground and gather the clear information of what we really need to complain about. Amaniaje? Yeah, whereby let us not complain or start criticizing the government according to the rumors we can do what we can get. Let us go to the ground. Sasa, that is why I gave you a good example. I myself, I think Zulfa, I sent you the video. You could see the video, yes? You could see even Kimani Ichung'wah greeting me when they were trying to do that, the issue. Yes? Okay. I think you saw that transformers which were supposed to be used somewhere. You saw those Kenya Power vehicles that were launched to promote that work in that particular area, yes? According to the information from those people right there. Are they complaining that there is no power there? And if yes, they are complaining, nini hiyo haijafanyika, and what is maybe making them to not achieve those things? You understand? So this is what I may really need to request those people from Mount Kenya region, please, whatever that the president mentioned there, make other Kenyans to understand whether the process is ongoing or it is still stuck, so that we can at least know what is going on. Unanielewa?
Yes.
So we cannot just maybe keep quiet because we fear or we cannot tell the truth. Na truly uko mali government imefanya hata kama ni mbaya, appreciate, but you know what you really need to do when it comes to 2027. But let us not criticize the government using rumors. Yes? Let us criticize it with the reality. Yani hata ukiitwa mahali hivi useme sasa sema, bado utasema. But usisikie Zulfa nikisema aje President Ruto ameiba milioni 2. Ushikie na hapo uanze ku work with that nini. Do you have evidence that umeona from that have you acquired any evidence from me that President Ruto ama Rigathi Gachagua amemtusi President Ruto? Have you observed any evidence from me that will convince you that Rigathi amemtusi the president? Zile vitu zote zenye zimekuwa zikizungumziwa, sawa? Watu wa hiyo region, please, wherever you are watching us from, tell us transformer yenye ilipitishwa hapa ni kama ilipitishwa show off. Pia sisi tujue, ndio tuanze kutukue one voice. Unaona? Ndio tukue one voice.
Gypsy is saying we should not pressurize mountain. It's a collective responsibility to all Republic of Kenya, all counties. Kenya is not made of one region. The flaws is everywhere. So basically si kazi ya Mrima peke yake kutuambia eti nini endelea.
Mimi nilikuwa ninasema hivi. For the work the president was trying to launch there. Sawa, watu wa mlima watu ambia aje hiyo kazi imeanza, because next is going to another region. Next you might not know he is going to head to Nyanza region, because I think alikuwa ametoa wapi ndio akaenda mlima. Ni Nairobi, alianza na Nairobi sivyo? Akaenda Kirinyaga, akaenda sijui wapi, the mlima region sivyo? In fact, not only the mlima, yes. Now Gypsy, you are right. Hizo county zenye amefanya nini? Ametembea. Amezindua miradi hapo. Si last time alikuwa Coast. Ama?
Kilifi.
Alikuwa Kilifi. Ni if possible, hao watu waseme wenyewe zile vitu zenye alizindua zinaendelea. Who is going now to pressure him? Wakati anaona kazi yake inaendelea, si itakuwa makosa basi? If possible, all those counties zenye the president could do launching and maybe starting some projects, let those people at least communicate and say that these projects are still going on and we are seeing the progress, and but truly we can now support that move. But tukipara like hizo vitu zilikuwa mentioned na tusikii chochote kinaendelea, then we really need to question and raise up our voices. Mnaona aje nyinyi? How do you see?
Yeah. What hiyo miradi ambayo imezinduliwa in those countries that counties that the president ametembea akizindua. The man nilikuwa nasema if we can just get some individuals from that places that miradi zimezinduliwa, watuambie kazi inafanyika, kazi inaendelea, kazi imeanza. Like mali ametoka sahi, mali kuna the most problem ni Mrima. Kazi imeanza, inaendelea, ama ilikuwa tu show tu furahi tu tunaletewa pesa, hakuna pesa yenyewe, hakuna miradi inaendelea. Na stima inafika mahali inafaa ifike, ama kuna wale watapata, wale watakosa, ama kuna wale wataambiwa waanze kutoa do. Because I remember like kwetu we were told the stima ni ya bure inakuja, but we were to kupeana 1,000 bob ndio uwekewe stima, na kuna mwenye ametoa hiyo 1,000 bob like 3 times. Amewekewa tu muti, hata hakuna wire, hakuna kitu yoyote, amewekewa tu muti hapo kwa uwanja. There's nothing. So watu wengine inafaa vitu zingine hata you talk, you speak out. Na unajua juu mtu anataka huko ushago, hata afadhali aende chama akope hiyo 1,000 bob aende alipe hiyo stima. You should tell us if that kama stima mnalipa ndio mwekeo ama inakuja tu inawekwa, cause ni pesa imetolewa. Hizo barabara zimeanza kutengenezwa, constructor amekuja. Soko zimeanza kujengwa. Cause unajua kila mahali kila mtu alikuwa anapewa department yake hapo. Kila mtu ameanza department yake, ama wamekaa tu wamerelax, ama wako tu kwa campaign huku nje wanapiga campaign. We wanna just know those people who are where president amekuwa recently. Hizo counties zenye president ametembea akizindua miradi zimeanza. Kuna mahali alianza nafasi haiko imeisha. Hiyo ni kazi tunataka ikuwe inafanyika. And president, do you go back to see if kazi imefanyika, ama wewe unapitanga tu ukienda? Utakuja sikia another years kama umekuwa voted tena uambiwe kazi yenye ulianzisha hapa ikuisha, blah blah blah. We don't wanna hear that. Sasa tunataka tu kazi complete. Sasa shida wanaenda mnazindua miradi, mnaanza campaign. Watu wanakosana. Watu sijui wanafanya nini. And then giving a wrong person a wrong project. That's too bad. I think these people should speak to us, at least tujue zinaendelea.
Okay. So is the video ready? Okay, let's see the video.
explain why he hounded me out of office, despite having promised the people of Kenya that he will never humiliate his deputy, he will never persecute his deputy.
Okay.
He even went beyond humiliation and persecution. He hounded me out of office.
Okay.
And he was asked a question as whether he is the one who impeached me. And he looked down, because he couldn't look at the camera straight and say, no, I'm not the one. It is the MPs who did it. In fact, I tried to persuade them not to. They tried 2-3 times. And they said, if we don't impeach this man, we'll exchange his name with yours. It's all, of course, a lie. Everybody knows. His women rep in Uasin Gishu, both Sholei, publicly in his presence told him, Mr. President, what you say I do is what I do. You told me Gachagua aende nyumbani, nikahakisha ameenda. When he rose to speak, he didn't deny. He just looked down. Everybody knows it's the worst kept secret in this country that he's the one who crafted the impeachment and bribed members of parliament at 500,000 each and senators at 10 million. Bribed the mover of the motion, the Kibwezi West MP. He has been everywhere complaining he was shortchanged. He had been promised to be the chairman of the Budget and Appropriation Committee after successfully tabling the motion. And again, the president was saying that the MPs overruled him. It is common knowledge that those Mount Kenya MPs cannot overrule the president. They do whatever he wants. You remember when he told them to pass the finance bill. They went and passed the finance bill despite the fact that there was public outcry. And the members of public had serious problems with them. The day he changed his mind because of the Gen Z protests and said, we are doing away with the finance bill, they were clapping for him. They never argue with him. You remember, again, the Adani saga. They were defending the Adani saga. And the MPs were supporting him that Adani is a good thing.
Okay.
The day he changed his mind and said we are stopping Adani, the same MPs were clapping for him. So it is very hypocritical and dishonest for President William Ruto to claim that MPs disobeyed him. That having dealt with that, he said that he had me hounded out of office because I asked him for 10 billion.
Before you even get to the 10 billion, because you've raised issues about members of parliament, who the president was on record mentioning that you actually bullied these members of parliament, that you told them if they do not kneel and submit, they will be shown the door and go home.
That is also another lie. I'm not on record anywhere. I'd like you to produce a clip where I told members of parliament to kneel before me. They cannot kneel before me. I'm not God. What I told the members of parliament, and it's true today as it was then, to listen to the ground and stop following President William Ruto blindly against the wishes of the people.
Then why were you picking small fights?
Let me explain to you. They are not small fights. It's the president who is calling them small fights. Advising members of parliament to listen to the ground is not a small fight. It's a very honorable duty for a leader of my caliber. I listened to the people. The people did not want the finance bill 2024. And I told the members of parliament, people do not want the finance bill. Don't follow the president blindly. He will leave you Guamata. And if you people don't adjust by this December and start listening to the people of the Mount Kenya region make decisions the second year of election. And I was telling them from my experience, by the end of this year in December, if you guys have not aligned yourself with the people and listened to the people are crying about overtaxation. The people are saying they don't want the affordable housing. The people are saying they don't want you to tax avocado. The people are saying that there's too much government into people's lives. And you people are following William Ruto blindly. I'm advising you people as your leader. From what the Wananchi are telling me, if you don't adjust and listen to the people, you will find yourself in trouble come 2027.
But it just wasn't MPs. According to the president, his PA Farouk Kibet received...
I'll explain. I'll explain. Let me first deal with the 10 billion. President William Ruto is a master of deceit. And he is very good at driving narratives to suit what he wants. Between the year 2018 and 2022, he drove a narrative in the Mount Kenya region that Uhuru Kenyatta is incompetent, he's a drunkard, and he has ruined the economy and the country.
But it's collective responsibility. You were right next to him.
I'm just saying,
I'm just saying,
among the people he persuaded. He persuaded many people, I included, because he's very persuasive when he gets on a narrative. And he drove a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta and recruited all of us, I included. I was among the leader of those who believed in what he told us, that Uhuru Kenyatta is a drunkard, is a useless leader, is a man who has messed this country, is a man who cannot be trusted to organize a succession. And we should despise him, we should hate him. And we listened to William Ruto, and he persuaded us. 5 years down the line, Uhuru Kenyatta is gone. William Ruto, the one who said Uhuru is incompetent, has come on stage. The education system that was working when Uhuru Kenyatta was there is finished. Children at home. The health system has crumbled. People are overtaxed. Nothing is working in the country. Yet, at that time, he had persuaded us that Uhuru Kenyatta is an incompetent man, is a drunkard, is a leader not worth talking about. He came and persuaded us that our enemy as a region is Raila Odinga, who is a witch doctor. And since Uhuru Kenyatta has brought him, and Uhuru Kenyatta does not mean well for us, we should hate Uhuru Kenyatta and trust William Ruto to carry our destiny. We believed him. He's very good in driving narratives. So when he came to the mountain, he needed to drive a narrative against Gachagua, thinking that the people are as gullible as they were then. And he was confident that if he could successfully drive a narrative against Uhuru Kenyatta when he was president, he could equally drive a narrative against Gachagua. And he cobbled this narrative of 10 billion. The purpose was to show the people of the Mount Kenya region, this Gachagua guy is a very selfish man.
So did you or did you not blackmail the president?
Of course I did not blackmail the president, because if I did, Rogers,
yes,
it would have been accusation number 1 before the Senate.
Impeachment.
This impeachment was crafted by William Ruto. It was drafted by the National Intelligence Service and Professor Kindiki. And the president even had blackmailed him. Blackmail is a criminal offense. It should have been accusation number 1. It did not appear anywhere. Since October 18, the president has never talked about it until he came to the mountain. And the president had better make up his mind why he ordered me out of office. When he went to Western Kenya, he said he got rid of me because I was incompetent and tribal. He never told the people of Western Kenya asking for 10 billion. When he went to Northeastern Kenya, he said he got rid of me because I'm divisive and I don't like the unity of the country. When he went to Nyanza, he said that I am primitive, and corrupt. When he came to the mountain, he never said I'm tribal, because he cannot say that. He never said I'm incompetent, because he cannot do that.
Okay.
He said that I was asking for 10 billion. In fact, on Thursday morning, he met Madeira women dancers. There is a group of 1,000 women that I put together to dance for Uhuru Kenyatta, and then I handed them out to William Ruto. Most of them are friends of my late mother. Others are women who have educated their children from Form 1 up to university. My friends. He met them and told them, huyu Rigathi wenu alikuwa anaitisha mimi bilioni 10. Na nikaona kuliko akule peke yake, nimfukuse, hii pesa nigawe na nyinyi nyote. So leo mtakula hii pesa ningepatia Rigathi. Those women, he gave them each 8,000 shillings. That is 8 million shillings. And he gave another 2 million shillings towards the funeral of their child who has died. And the women called me and said, this man is a liar, because we know you. During the 2022 elections, Roger, William Ruto picked me as running mate because of my mobilization skills and my capacity to mobilize resources. Everybody knows I'm not a poor man. I was in a lot of trouble with the fourth administration because of funding William Ruto. The fourth administration froze my accounts so that I stopped funding William Ruto. The fourth administration blocked all my businesses so that I stopped giving money to William Ruto. I put serious money into his campaign. I am not the kind of man to go asking William Ruto to give me any money. In any case, let me ask you a question. William Ruto should make up his mind how much money I'm supposed to have asked. His chief propagandist, Dennis Itumbi, wrote, and it's there, I have a copy, I will give it to you.
I remember, yes.
That I'm asking for 6.5 billion. Okay?
Sure.
His Mr. Fix-It, Kimani Ichung'wa, went to Europe in an interview and said, I'm asking for 8 billion. William Ruto says, I'm asking for 10 billion. Between his Mr. Fix-It and his chief propagandist and William Ruto, can't they sit down and agree the figure that Rigathi Gachagua is supposed to have asked for? So, I want to explain to you that there is nothing like that. It was just a narrative he wanted to bring to the mountain because he needed to explain to them. Because he committed himself that he would never humiliate his deputy. He went beyond God afraid of me. He needed something to tell the people of the mountain. But of course, everybody knows it's a lie. Because if that was true, it should have come in the impeachment. Again, let me tell you, Rogers.
But I have to ask you, because you're equally on record in public mentioning that President William Ruto offered you 2 billion Kenya shillings to resign ahead of the impeachment in October.
Yes.
So isn't that a counter-narrative?
No. I talked before. He talked the other day. Okay. I have not talked after he has talked.
So your claims are true?
I said he talked to me. He sent a very senior officer in government. When he called me myself when we disagreed, and said, I cannot work with you. I would like you to resign. And if you don't, I'll impeach you. And later on in the interview, I'll tell you why we disagreed. And he said, instead of you going home empty-handed, and since you assisted me, I would like you to go with your retirement package, and I can get you some money to get you started off, like 1.5, 2 billion. I told him to go to hell. I'm not interested. I'm priceless. And that kind of money, you know I have. You know how much I funded your campaign. I am not a man to be given 2 billion shillings. You know what kind of money I am into. And therefore, I said, fine. He sent a very senior officer to come and see me. On Thursday, when the National Assembly resolved that I should be impeached by going to the Senate, that Friday morning, he sent a very senior officer to come and see me. And he gave me his terms. And again, it's my ethics because I don't record people. I recorded that conversation, giving me that offer from the president. I have that record. Okay?
So the senior official was speaking for the president?
Yeah, he sent me. The following day...
But you know the burden of proof lies with the accuser. We need to see this.
No problem. The following day, he told the officer I should go and have a discussion with him. And I refused to go to State House. He suggested I go to his hotel, the Western Hotel. I refused. And we met somewhere along State House Road in one of the safe houses run by the National Intelligence Service. And between me, that officer, and myself, we had a discussion with the president. Again, I recorded that conversation for posterity because I know William Ruto. I put it on record. Again, he gave me that offer. I told him I'll think about it. I didn't want to have a fight with him because it was not necessary. That officer persuaded me that I should listen to the president. And because he's a man from home, he said, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, just listen to what he has to say.
Who is this officer?
No, I don't want to...
For the sake of our public, you call for an interview, you have to...
Let me explain. So I said no, I declined. The day I went to the Senate, the first day, that officer again was dispatched by the president. And I refused to see him, but after consultation with my counsels, I agreed to see him. Again, he brought me another offer. I recorded it. I am very conflicted. That officer is an innocent man. He's an emissary of the president. He is in service. If I expose him now, he will lose his job. He will be in very difficult circumstances. So on discussion with my family and lawyers, we have agreed that when he retires, and it's not very long from now, will be able to release that information. And I have done that because I know his family, and I don't want to jeopardize his position. And because he did not come on his free will, he serves the president and he cannot be able to argue with him. I'll have that information. It is ready, it's well stored, and I would like to tell these people not to try to come and read here to get it. It's not here. I've stored it nicely with somewhere, and it's in good position.
Allow me to reel you in, because you're a truthful man, as you say. At the end of the day, if you're giving us allegations, you have to substantiate.
I don't have to. I have told you, because when the president went to that interview, he was asked to substantiate. He refused to substantiate. I have done a lot of substantiation. I've explained to you why I don't want to receive the information now. But I'll release the information because it's for public information, so that between me and the president, the people can know who is right and who is not right, and who is lying to the people of Kenya.
You know what your critics are saying?
Yeah.
Since you heavily funded the presidential campaigns in the Mount Kenya region, that you're asking of this 10 billion, or is it 6.5 billion, whichever the figure, was simply a way of returning your investment. You well know how politics in Kenya
I don't think so, because when I was funding the president, there was no issue. If I needed my money back from him or whatever it is, we'll discuss. I have not asked the president to refund me any money. I'm a leader. That was an investment in the presidential campaign. He was president, I was running it. I too had a responsibility, to spend money on the campaign. And that's why I'm saying I'm not the kind of person to ask him for money. And he knows that, because I'm an astute businessman who have worked for many years and made my own money. And I was in the campaign on my own violation. The president did not force me to be the campaign. I spent my money because I thought it's the right thing to do. I mobilized resources from friends, and I did not ask him. And if I had asked him, he should have said then. He cannot say now, 6 months after. He would have called a meeting of UDA, the PG, put me to task and say, Rigiji here is asking me for this. He would have called some elders, some church people. He never did any of those things, because that is how you do those things.
Okay.
But myself, when he offered me an offer to resign, I talked about it. I did not waste time. I talked about it because that is the situation.
But it's still a narrative. We'd like to substantiate this claim, sir.
I have told you what I need to tell you. And the long and short of it all is that the president wanted to create a narrative with the mountain. And you see, these mountain people are looking at him very closely, because the things he said about me are not the things he is saying today. Okay? When he said I should be his running mate in Karen on May 15th, he had this to say. There were so many other instruments. I looked at many things. I looked at what was required of a deputy president. In the end, we all settled as a team on Gachagua, because he's an astute debater, a fantastic grassroots mobilizer, a disciplined and tireless political operative, a successful elected politician and businessman, a principled politician of tremendous resilience and fearless fighter for the right cause, an indefatigable champion. Gachagua is a self-made man, a politician of repute, and a public servant whose sole goal is to help others. Gachagua is a very passionate leader, a people's person. He speaks about the ordinary people and is concerned about matters to do with farmers. What I like about him is his passion for people issues. He's one of those leaders who are passionate about ordinary people. He's a living example of a true hustler. Then the president is here telling the people of the mountain, the man you gave me is a blackmailer. He goes to Western, he says, man is a tribalist. He goes to Nyanza, he says, this man is a primitive. Give me a break. You are talking to the same people. These same people are the ones he talked to when he wanted my services, when he wanted me to mobilize the mountain people, when he wanted to take advantage of my oratory skills to mobilize votes for him, when he wanted me to articulate people-based issues. Yet, When I say don't demolish houses for innocent people, he says I'm fighting his government. Yet he was saying I stand for people issues. So I am saying that the mountain people, you can condemn once. You can't condemn twice. What they are saying, William Ruto, you successfully persuaded us to fight our own son, Uhuru Kenyatta. Please, you cannot persuade us to fight Gachagua because we now know you. You came and told us that Uhuru Kenyatta is bad because he is working with Raila Odinga. And Raila Odinga is a very mad man and a very dangerous man, the Lord of Poverty. Today, you are working with Raila Odinga, singing praises for him everywhere. Then the mountain people are looking at him and saying, is this the same man who made us hate Uhuru Kenyatta because he was working with Raila Odinga? Today, he is singing praises for Raila Odinga, taking him all over Africa to be the king of Africa.
Right.
And he wants us now to believe him, that Rigathi Gachagua wanted 10 billion from him. Is this not the same man who came here and told us that Uhuru Kenyatta is a drunkard? Is he not the same man? Now he is here again, telling us that our son, Rigathi Gachagua, is incompetent. Our son, Justin Muturi, is incompetent. Our son, Moses Kuria, is corrupt. Our son, Metheka Linturi, is corrupt. Mr. President, I have no capacity to advise you. Nobody can fool the mountain people twice. You fooled them once, they feel very sorry about it. They actually feel very low and very down. I want to assure you, your tricks are now known, your games are known. You will never again in your lifetime make the people of the mountain fight their son or their daughter. They will never do it. You made us hate Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay.
You made us humiliate him. You told us bad things about him that were not true. You said he was incompetent. You are the one who is incompetent now. It is very clear for everybody. Everybody is incompetent except you. Even now you are saying your new Mr. Yesa is very competent. You are the only one who is competent. Everybody else who disagrees with you, everybody else who has a problem with your modus operandi, anybody else who has a problem with your leadership is incompetent.
Okay.
You are the only competent person in this country.
So, and with all due respect, we'll treat what you've said earlier on as allegations because you still haven't substantiated them. I have to ask you this because it's a multi-pronged question. When exactly did your friendship, your working relationship with President William Ruto start, and when did the rain start beating it?
Probably before we come to that, you said that he said I fight small people. I don't fight anybody. He says that I was fighting Farouk Kibet. Farouk Kibet is not a small man. He is a co-president in this country. Farouk Kibet runs the government. Everybody reports to him. The Inspector General of Police, the head of public service, cabinet ministers. William Ruto issues instructions to cabinet ministers through Farouk Kibet. Ministers tremble at his very sight. So, Farouk Kibet wanted to give instructions to Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua was elected by the people of Kenya alongside William Ruto. There is no way I would have allowed Farouk Kibet to give instructions to me. And let me tell you, Rogers, Farouk Kibet was trying to run my office, make appointments for people to come and see me. And initially, I thought it's okay, maybe that's how William Ruto wants us to work. Until I learned that Farouk Kibet was collecting money from people to come and see me, and I have nothing to give them in return. And I went and I told the president, Mr. President, I'm your principal assistant. Please, your personal assistant cannot give me instructions. And if you want to give me any instructions, you give them yourself and I obey them to the letter. But you cannot use your PA to order me around. And your PA is taking advantage to make money from people. And I told you, Mr. President, for your information, because I'm your advisor in this matter, I will be failing in my duty if I don't advise you and tell you what is happening.
Okay.
All the people Farouk Kibet is clearing to come and see you, he's collecting money. And there's hue and cry in town. And State House is getting very disrespected because it has become a center of corruption. all appointments of people coming to see you, Kibet is collecting money. And Mr. President, I think you need to check this. But if you want to continue with it, tell him to keep off my office. He is not going to make appointments in my office, and he cannot tell me whom to see.
So
and
can you substantiate
what,
this?
You know
Farouk Kibet is not here to defend himself.
But the president raised a matter. You asking me for an answer?
Yes, yes.
See, I must give you an answer.
But
I'm not the one.
I've
never raised that issue.
Okay.
It's the president who raised the matter. I'm answering
I'm just
to the people of Kenya.
countering what you've said.
But I'm
You've
saying,
said that he's the one.
But I'm saying, Rogers, the president said that I'm fighting with small people. The answer is that Farouk Kibet is not a small person.
So you're fighting big people. Fine.
I was not fighting big people.
Yes.
I was telling the president, I'm elected. I'm not going to take instructions from your personal assistant. And I'm not going to allow him to push corruption in my office. If you want him to practice corruption in your office, you can go ahead.
But you just said he was collecting money for people to meet with you.
I learned the few people he had asked me to see. Later on, I heard noise in town that people are going to see the deputy president. Farouk has collected money on his behalf and he's not doing anything for us. That is when I got alarmed. I faced Kibet and he told me off. He said, I must make money. Hii serikali tumetafuta, mimi nimeumia na William Ruto miaka mingi. And actually when I talked to the president about Farouk Kibet, he said, wewe achana na Farouk atafute pesa kidogo ya kukula bana. Hii mtu ameumia na mimi miaka mingi, akipata hapa kidogo kidogo yuko makosa gani? So I'm telling you, when the president said that I'm fighting small people, that is a man who is running the country, you know? And everybody trembles. I'm the only man who would tell him off.
Okay.
When he says that I'm fighting small people, I don't know Itumbi. You can see the things he was writing about me. And Dennis Itumbi, the chief propagandist for William Ruto. Again, he's not a small man. This government of William Ruto is run by Itumbi and Farouk. This Itumbi, all these statements you see ministers issuing, like the one DCI has issued about the violence yesterday in Mweki. It's Dennis who crafts them. He crafts the messages, and you can see even that is language. He gives them to read. And my problem with that so-called small man is that they work in cohort with the president. And he hangs around State House. And if you have a discussion with the president and he doesn't like the way it is going, he sends him a text, and Dennis walks into the president's office and says, Mr. President, you are late for the next meeting. And the president brings the meeting to a closure. I had not realized that until I studied, I saw there is a pattern. And any time I had many issues with the president that were not pleasant, I would face him and say, this is not right, this is not good, and I would win the argument, and he doesn't like it, and he would like to bring a meeting to a closure. Somehow Dennis walks in, and I saw a pattern. So one day, we were launching, the president was going to sign. He was going to sign the housing levy law, bill into law. And I was with the president in his office, the two of us, and I had a very hot conversation with him. And I was telling Mr. President, Kenyans are not interested in affordable housing. And people are very unhappy about the taxation. And Mr. President, only a fool doesn't change his mind. Let us relook this thing. And please, from the feedback I'm getting from the ground, and Mr. President, I was elected with you. I mean, it's my job to tell you what the people are saying. And since we are elected together on a joint ticket, when I see we are going down and I don't tell you, it is not fair. Then when we were just continuing, I think he took a phone, Itumbi comes. And he said, Mr. President, we need to go. And I told Itumbi, my friend, next time you interrupt me when I'm with the president, you know who I am. Get off. I am the deputy president. I was elected with the president here. Who are you to come and interrupt our discussion? Do you know what we are discussing? The president just looked and said, I think we go. Okay? So that is how I raised that issue. And I told him, Mr. President, how do you get these people to come and interrupt a meeting with your deputy all the time? So that those are the issues we were saying.
Well noted.
I was fighting with small people.
Just to take you back briefly, because we're stuck of time, how much did you fund President William Ruto's campaign?
No, I will not go into that. It's not necessary. I don't think I need to go into the details because I was also a candidate.
Okay.
I did not necessarily fund William Ruto. I funded the campaign because I was part of the campaign.
Okay.
And I don't think I need to go into those details.
Then tell me this, when did the rain start beating your friendship? When exactly?
It's not friendship, Lily, but we went into a covenant with the president. And the president was here many times, here in this house, down, beaten, harassed, frustrated, and he would come here for comfort. And my wife would pray for him, and we went a long journey from 2018 all the way to 2022. And I believed him and I trusted him. And since I'm a man of honor, I took his word for what it was. And we agreed many things, but we never wrote anything down. And that is a mistake that I made, that I regret today. And my community, the Mount Kenya people, regret today. But they have forgiven me because William Ruto is very deceptive. To deceive Rigathi Gachagua is nothing because he deceived bishops, reverends, pastors, everybody, all of us, our whole community. A very respectable community were deceived by one man. So I fell for it, and we agreed many things. And I went into it blindly. But as soon as we came in, the man changed completely. And all the things we had agreed, he became very arrogant. He said he's president. He said he'll do whatever he wants. And I can tell you where I started finding things are not right is we had agreed on several portfolios for my people because we had agreed, much as I'm a national leader and I'll be your deputy to assist you to manage the affairs of this country, I'll protect the interests of the Mount Kenya people in your government because they have elected you and they give you 47% of the vote. And it was agreeable. And all the things we had agreed in terms of portfolios, interior, agriculture, water, lands, finance, he honored all those things. But then he was very cunning. All my ministers from my region, he put PSs from his community under them. And after some time, my ministers told me they are flower girls. He would just work with the PSs directly without any reference to them. And I realized he had conned me and the community.
So that's when the issue started.
That is one of the issues.
Okay.
Number two, he keeps on saying people are tribal. He has accused me of tribalism. When we were appointing PSs, I asked him, since I was a public servant for a long time, we need institutional memory. These PSs are civil servants. Much as they served Uhuru Kenyatta, they are career civil servants. Mr. President, why don't we retain several of them for continuity instead of bringing everybody who is new? He said, no, hiyo watu wa kwende, hiyo ni watu ya Azimio, ni watu ya Uhuru.
But there were some PSs who were retained.
No, let me explain.
Let
me explain, that's where I am. He said, wa kwende hiyo watu, staki kuwaona. We'll get our own people, they will learn on the job. I said, Mr. President, we are new, me and you, we have just come. If we have new ministers, we have new PSs, the country must continue. Why, please, from my people, from my community, the region, I have 5-6 people I would like you to retain. And for you, as you can retain what? He said, no, zitaki yo watu. Then we are, okay, he overruled me, I kept quiet. Then we worked on it and we agreed on the list. And we got all new people. Okay? And I went home.
All new people?
All new people. In agreement between me and him.
Okay.
I came here. At 7, the list came out. The list had changed. From his community, he retained 5 PSs. From his community, he retained Belio Kipsang, he retained Julius Koril, he retained Kipto, he retained Kimtai, and Dr. Tum. From my region, he retained one guy called Hinga. I called him. I said, Mr. President, I requested you that we retain a few PSs from my region who are working with Uhuru for continuity and from your people, but you told me you don't want anybody old, you want new people. But Mr. President, from your community, you have retained 5 people. This is not fair. You have started shortchanging me right in the beginning of our government. He told me, wewe Rigathi, wewe ni kumpafu sana. Come, you want to be the appointing authority, my friend. You run for president, you can appoint the PSs you want. This is my government. Now, ukwende, and he switched off the phone. That is, and when I hear him
that was
talking,
in 2022.
Yeah, 2022. That was the second month in government. So when I hear him talking about tribalism, that Rigathi Gachagua is tribal. When you look at the way he reappointed PSs from his community and chased away all the other PSs from all the other communities, except his own community. When you look at the appointment of CEOs in parastatus, there are more than 60 from his community. And he talks about tribalism. You know, I've heard him saying hatutaki ukabila. You know, hii Kenya ni yetu sisi wote. Sisi bwana hatutaki ukabila. Mnikubalie niunganishe wa Kenya wote. Hii Kenya ni yote sisi wote. Then more than 60 CEOs of parastatus are from his community.
Okay.
That is where I just realized things are not what I thought they would be. And when I tried to talk to him, he was very abusive. And I kept quiet because I didn't want to have a fight with him. I just, you know, played along, and we just continued, you know. And then along the way, he started purging people from my community. He wanted to get rid of the Commissioner General of KRI, Mr. Mburu. And I said, no, Mr. President, we agreed with you that 1 for 1. I mean, if you want to change Mburu because he was Uhuru's, you replace him with somebody else. He said, okay, no problem, let him go, we'll replace him. When the replacement came, he took me around, he gave it to somebody else from another region, you know, and like that. And then we went to Earth Water, he sacked somebody called Engineer Thoita. Okay. Like that, we went to the sports fund, he removed somebody. With the time I realized that he had, in a very calculated manner, having a purge on my people. And I started now fighting back. And I would face him and say, Mr. President, these people from this region voted for you, 47%. You will not be president without their vote. They are asking me questions that I cannot answer. The issue of pending bills, 900 billion. People came to me to see me. And I saw him, I said, Mr. President, for us to improve circulation of money into the economy, why don't we make the payment of pending bills a priority? Sema hiyo watu ni watu ya Uhuru bwana. Hiyo biashara walifanya kwa Uhuru, waende watafute Uhuru walipe. I said, my brother, that was a government that was legal. It was not an illegal government even if it was headed by Uhuru Kenyatta. Mm-hmm. The liabilities of government under President Uhuru Kenyatta are our liabilities. Money that we have borrowed from foreigners, we are paying, even if it was borrowed Uhuru's time. Mm-hmm. Even this money that our people have worked on, he said, no, wacha tufanye mambo yetu bana. And I just realized that the priority was to do new business so that people can have their cut. They didn't want to pay money for old business because they were not part of it. You know, those are some of the issues that started giving us problem and we went along.
And thanks for clarifying that, because people might wonder where exactly did the rain start beating. But I have to be the devil's advocate here, Your Excellency, because at the end of the day, the people who still associate you closely with the head of state, since you campaigned for him vehemently before the 2022 general election, and thereafter, that's when, you know, this working relationship was a little bit skewed. To those who equate your complaints the same way as they equate those of a jilted lover, that since you face the axe, now it's obvious that you won't go around praising the head of state.
I didn't start saying I have a problem with him when I was asked. I started saying before, if you remember, on June 25, when policemen massacred our children, the president called a press conference and he did not invite me and say the agencies are criminals who are prisoners. The following day, as deputy president, I called a press conference in Mombasa. And I told him off. I said, these are not criminals. These are our sons and daughters. I had not been jilted. I had not been asked from office. I stood firm. And let me tell you, one of the issues I disagreed with the President William Ruto up to today, and I will never give in, was abductions and extrajudicial killings. I am a father. I am a Christian. I am a husband. I am a leader. I am an elder in my community. Children are our flowers. You cannot kill children because they're asking questions. And the questions they're asking are legitimate. That we are running down the country, that there is too much corruption, that we are not listening to the people. Those young Gen Zs were raising legitimate issues that I had personally raised with the president.
Allow me to interject.
And I can tell you,
Yeah.
after that, he accused me
Okay.
of having been behind the Gen Z protest. Okay? And I said I was not behind the Gen Z's protest, but I associated myself with what they were saying despite being deputy president. So you cannot sit here and tell me that I've started raising these issues, you know, because we disagreed or because I left. You remember, in the Senate, there was an accusation against me that I had opposed evictions of people from Nairobi River. I raised that issue when I was deputy president.
True.
There was an accusation that I rejected the haphazard relocation of traders from Wakulima market. I started disagreeing with the president a year ago. Our disagreement around October was the culmination of a whole year of total disagreement.
Okay, but I'll have to voice what critics say. At the end of the day, Warren Live lost during the 2023 Azimio protests. Did you speak vehemently against
No, that time, the first 1 year. The first 1 year.
Briefly, as we take a break, yes.
The first 1 year, I believed in the president. And you heard him excuse me that I was not defending government programs. Wewe kushasikia Rigathi akienda kwa TV kutetea housing program. Wewe umesikia Rigathi akienda kutetea education model. The first 1 year nilikuwa naenda and there are clips until I realized the affordable housing is a fraud. It's a business venture between the president and DEFCI to sell cement, to sell steel, to sell mabati. I stopped defending it.
Well, DEFCI is not here to defend
No, he's
himself.
not here, but I'm just saying. Okay. And I stopped defending it. And even the president tried to tell me to go to TV to defend the housing program. I told him I'll not go. When I learned the university model is not working, and it was very unpopular with the students and parents, I refused to go. So he wanted me to go and defend Adani, which is corruption. I refused to go and defend. He wanted me to go and defend Shah. Okay. And it's corruption, I refused.
But
you know,
my
and
question,
I am saying...
Allow me to ask you.
Yes.
Because my question is centered on the 2023 Azimio protests. Did abductions start in 2024?
They started in 2024.
They started in 2024?
Yeah. The real abductions, and I can tell you...
There's no fake abductions.
No, I'm just telling you, when it became clear to me, is when 101 officers from the administration police, on the authority of the president, were transferred to the National Intelligence Service and given very extensive training, is when we started getting people complaining that people are disappearing. And I went into it, and I started seeing signs that are not good signs. And I faced the president more than 3 times. And he feigned ignorance. But when I came to check, I found he knew what is going on. These abductions were being done by the National Intelligence Service. And I had a problem with them because I am a very straightforward man. And I spoke very strongly in the National Security Council. And I said, Mr. President, let us not treat the symptoms, but diagnose the problem. These young people, we need to find out why they are complaining. Killing them, abducting them, is not a solution.
Hold on to your thoughts. We take a short commercial break. Do stay with us. The Wamunyoro bombshell continues in just but a few.
Dear
Thank you so much, guys. And that was regarding Gachagua and all the information yenye alishare kwa awamu ya kwanza kwa kipindi ambacho aliweza kufanya nini, kushiriki na huyo jamaa wa sijini wapi. Anyway, thank you so much for your time. So as you have heard, amejaribu kuzungumzia mengi sana yenye yanahusu serikali and kuna information nyingine hata nyinyi mna feel like ili wa convince na yenye maybe haiko na convince. Tukianza na Matilda, maybe ni nini unaweza niambia labda imeku convince kwa hiyo information yamejaribu kushare?
Unajua sahi I like the way he has spoken like a mature person. Hajakuwa kama president. I think uliwatch ile yenye ilikuwa ya president yenye alikuwa akiulizwa swali anaruka. This man behave like a kweli a mature person. Ile akiulizwa swali anasikiza and then anajibu. And then if it's not necessary to answer the question, anasema that one I cannot give out the details. I think ni mtu ana reason. So you know sometimes you can in some point you can take some realities in the story of Gachagua. Unaweza ona. And then in some things amesema ako mpaka na evidence, ako na recordings. You know, that's good. But we would like to hear the audios zenye alikuwa na record wakiongea na Mr. President. I think atakuja sema one time atakuja zitoa. This guy is that guy who amekaa chini akaona because huyu president anaongea kitu fulani kunihusu. Sita jibu kwa ubaya ama kwa matusi. I will just go sit down and talk peacefully. Yani na amani. Si ati naleta vurugu. President is doing this. But nyinyi mkiona mimi nimekuwa pale, amesema mimi ni mkabila. Lakini ukiangalia akisema mimi ni mkabila, if you go to the I think is it the parliament or the state house, akona more than 60 years wa his community.
Yes.
You know our government
not CS but parastatals officers.
Yeah.
Come and your house, yes. No. It's okay though, you have got the point. That's what you was trying to say.
Wherever whatever it is.
Yes.
But more than 60. Unajua mi in the government inafaa kukuwe na any tribe inside there. Unaweza ukuwe na Mkale, ukuwe na Mluya, ukuwe na Mjaluo, ukuwe na Mkisi, ukuwe na Mkikuyu, ukuwe na yani kabila yote ikuwe pale. At least mkikuja kwa table hakuna mwenye anaongea kabila yake hapo.
Yes.
Is one language. If is English and Kiswahili period. Hakuna mwenye wengine wamekuja wanaongea tu Kikuyu hapo. Ama wanaongea tu Kikale. Huyu mwingine haelewi. Yes. Ama wakitaka kupass information wana pass in their language, so huyu mwingine asisikie. Itabidi waseme in one language. I think yenye one person all the people will understand, even the Kenyans can understand. And Gachagua, what he has explained there, I think is something important to us. Amesema Kenyans we can see like anaongea kwa sababu alikuwa impeached. Ajakata he was impeached. But au waliona afai kukaa hapo. Mpaka amesema alikuwa bribed. With the 2 million a resign. I think hii kitu ameiongelea like several times.
But the question I'm going back in is that information necessary now? Do we need it now?
Even if we don't need it right now,
but itakusaidia though.
It's helping in some way.
For you to know
what is happening.
You can head to at some point.
I mean, he has already done that. He has already told us about Ruto, and I think ajito gitungati bure sababu kila mtu ashamkubalia. But right now, as we said, we need because at some point Ruto will start wanting to defend himself from all this, and then there's no job itaifanyika, hakuna kazi itaifanyika.
Everybody.
So at this
hakuna
point,
mtu mwenye anaweza kaa kose kujidefend.
So at this point, I don't think we need that information. It's not necessary. Maybe say information kama hiyo mwenye record akisema anaongwa pesa akuje kutoa 2027 aseme sasa mnavotia huyu mtu ndo hii. But for now we do need, because then akisema hivyo bado hakuna place Ruto anaenda.
We know that Ruto is going nowhere.
That information is necessary right now.
What I can just advise and give my fellow Kenyans is, mkirudisha Ruto kwa kiti, you will be joking with your brains. Actually, mtakuwa mnacheza tu. Cause sasa hata nyinyi wenyewe mnaona kuna mahali mnaumia. Mnalipa taxes but still you have debts outside there. What will you be doing? Hakuna kitu mnafanya. Hakuna movement, hakuna forward. You're just there's no forwarding and clearing. Muko tu. You have to clear the madeni outside. Because we are the richest country. Let me tell you if you don't know. Kenya ni matajiri. Kenya we have money because Kenya is a tourist country. Hatuwezi sema tunasota hivyo kiolela walela. And we have to be so keen with those people that we are bringing in our own country. Unajua hao watu wanakuja, wanasema wanakuja kuvisit, wanakuja kufanya, alafu wanakuja wanaishi, alafu wanaharibu vitu zinakuwa vibaya. Mr. President, uliongeza tax. Ukasema aje? Unataka kumaliza madeni. There is a time akikuwa miaka 2, alikuwa amemaliza miaka 2 ama ni mwaka 1.5. Akasema unaona sasa nimelipa deni imebaki kidogo. Deni ilikuwa the former president alikuwa ameacha deni sijui ya pesa ngapi. Right now kidogo nasikia Msali akisema sijui alienda kuchukua kutafuta deni sijui wapi. Sasa unashangaa madeni tunamaliza tunaongeza. So deni inaongeza deni kwa deni. Tutamaliza lini hili deni?
Nikikuinterrupt kidogo. One of the best fans, in fact this person is my fan, yes, amenitumia very paining information that I could really like to share with you guys and at some point with all Kenyans. It is very unfortunate when it comes to losing a soul, but why at some point individuals could choose to do this? Please, let us try to avoid premature deaths at all costs. Usiniue tafadhali sababu ninatamani kuona mwangaza. Niruhusu tu Mungu achukue life yangu. I'm very young, you are very young. I have no reason to kill you. So right now vile tunaongea hivi nimepokea information kwamba there is a very young, beautiful and innocent girl mwenye ameuliwa Egerton University some hours ago. It is very unfortunate that msichana according to the information ni ameuliwa hapo hivyo ndani ya hostel. Ndani ya shule, si ndani ya hostel. Hapo hivyo kwa shuleni, hapo hivyo kwa hostel. So amepigwa vibaya sana na mapanga. I don't know whether it will be good if I show you guys, but now the girls succumbed due to deep cuts. Yes, please stop killing. Haujui vile mtu amelelewa, haujui mamaka ameuza kuku wangapi akamlipia fee. You don't know, you don't have an idea the investment of parents to their children. Sasa unakuja unapata msichana ni mrembo. Kwani alikubamba kwa sababu nadhani alijilea peke yake akajifikisha hivyo? Kama ni mapenzi alimuua basi. I don't think msichana kuuliwa ni kitu kingine, ni mapenzi tu. huyu mwenye unabebea panga kumuua, do you know the kind of responsibility this person have or has to the family? Kenyans, let us try to fight feminism. Femicide, not feminism. Pia mimi nangoaje hivyo sana. Femicide. Let us try to avoid femicide at all cost. Let us try to avoid. Let me tell you the truth. I don't know whether the camera will show. Yes? Mbona mnaogopa hivyo sana?
You do not do that. Do you think their parents want to see that?
Well, let me ask you a very simple question. Do you think it is easy? It is not easy. And let me ask you guys, why do you think maybe killing somebody is the best option? Why? Niko sure si demo alimuua. Sana nataka kuaddress you kijana, bro. You are raising your hand high up, holding a panga or a machete or a knife, whatever you used. You are lowering it at a high speed and impact to somebody mwenye haujui vile hata hizo nguo amevaa vile amezivaa. It is very unfortunate. Please stop killing someone's child because of your own interest. Kani pesa zaka alikula basi, does it mean you could not even report her to the police?
But do you know, I'm going to say this is like the 50th girl that has been killed. The other day it was Kemunto. Kemunto was killed and raped, and then they took that body and they threw it in the nini. Like, I hear you talking about that, and I don't even want to talk about it because, like,
jela ziko empty.
I also saw something else of this video of this woman that was trending, that the man, I don't know. Hey, where mnafanya hata tusitaki hata, because this is relationship. Haitakuwa tu ni kitu fulani. This is mapenzi. And I don't know where tuliachaga kusemaga nenda kwenu ama we tuachane ni hivyo imeisha. I don't know why people feel that you should kill. I do not get it. Like at this point, Felix, I look at the things and I'm just like, let me stay at my parents' house. Let me stay there, because people don't know how to break up right now. People know how to kill you. It's like, if I cannot have you, then no one will have you. Let me kill you. Let me kill you. Guy him say.
Wachana tu na mse. Weenda tu.
How does it get there so fast? To kill him say. Kill him, see where
watu wako so much possessed kwa hii country, eh? Na wako possessed na hiyo demon ya kukill.
Killing.
Yeah, there's so much possessed.
I don't know, people are watching Jeffrey Dahmer's movies, or they are watching these documentaries, and now you feel like, ama you're watching this murder series and you think you can dispose of a body, you can do shit, you can. Oh jeez. Killing, say. Killing should be the last thing. Killing should be the last thing you even ever think about. Eke mtu anajaisha.
Hata ijaanza kuongelea.
Hata ijaanza.
Another one. Na pia silikuwa tu ni kwa shule pia. A university, a first year.
Right now, I'm thinking, I have a little sister. So I'm thinking, oh, this is my sister. I'm being told that ati amekatakatwa na panga.
Ndio maana nowadays I can hear the parents wakisema mtoto wangu sasa akienda university aende akirudi kwa nyumba better.
But do you think even that is safe though? Because I know a story of this back in high school. Like, I'm gonna say after in my class yangu ya kumaliza KCSE, tumebaki madem kidogo sana. I'm gonna say like, out of 29 we are like 15. And hao wengine wote ni kuuliwa, kuana, sijui kujinyonga, I don't know, it's like we usually be like hii mwaka imeisha hakuna mtu ambaye wa darasa yetu amenini, but back when I'm gonna say because it was 2019, but 2020 2021 those years it was death and death and death. And there's one that really scared me. This chali came nyumbani kwa kina dem 2020, and the mother was like, let me stay, acha nikae pale kwa veranda, let me leave this girl here with the chali wa bonge. And when I don't know how that man stabbed that girl. Na alistabia tu mamake akiwa pale nje. Apa tu like I'm gonna say how. Like, do you know how there's a balcony and then there's apple? Imagine your daughter being stabbed ukiwa tumekaa hapo. And then now the boy is like, mama mimi nimemalizana na yeye acha niende. So the girl is sitting like this. So the mother is like, maybe ana watch TV. So the mother is just talking like, anaongea tu na yeye na kumbe
According to the information, this girl was killed by his boyfriend. And remember that in that school, you cannot pass through the gate even with mandazi or what, or sweets or biscuits. But we are still questioning then ourselves that how did this guy manage to pass through that gate where there are presence of gatekeepers with panga. How did this guy manage?
Yaani mzee wanda kanunua panga akisema enda kumada dem.
Alafu sasa kitu yenye more unfortunate is that girl could be there, could stay there for almost 30 minutes bleeding. Yes?
Hey.
Akimi acha nikuambie bro.
Let me tell you, you will turn me into a serial killer now.
I'm addressing you young boys. Mwache ujinga.
Because I will end your entire family.
Wacha ujinga.
Hiyo ni nini sasa wewe?
Young boys wacha ujinga by the way.
Why kill?
Hivi sisi ni wangapi umetuacha wenye tuliwaipenda hadi tukanunulia hadi.
Unaachagwa msee like it's nasema gani constant. Unaachwa na you continue and you see them next day.
Nataka producer nimulike ni address ya vijana. Wakati unaanza kuua msichana wa mtu ulimpata akiwa hapo hivyo. Use common sense bro. Wacha kukua, stop being single minded. Uwezi beba panga kwenda kuua msichana.
Do you know why Kemuto was killed?
Eti kwa sababu ya mapenzi.
Do you know why Kemuto? Si mapenzi kidogo. Kemuto was not killed because of mapenzi. Kemuto was killed because this boy approached her and alikuwa anamkatia na Kemuto alikuwa like mimi sitaki. And then that boy came and killed. Akamuua na akaenda akarape mwili na akamrusha kwa tangi. So like right now hata nikikukataa bado naogopa leo kuja tu kunimada.
Sasa nikikubali tu kama sikutaki.
Bado nikubali bado unakuja tu kunimada at some point. I mean you just wewe na Joe
now that hii story haikuwa part of the topic ni imeingia na iko very 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 much touching. I'm addressing you young men who are there please. Wasichana ni wengi na in Kenya by the way wasichana wametuzidi namba vibaya sana. That's why hata nikioa wanaume wake 10 right now uwezi kosa wakuoa bro. Uwezi kosa. Na wanaume wenye wajaoa ni choice. Si eti ni kwamba maybe wamekoswa. Kubeba panga kwenda kuua msichana wa mtu mwenye amelipiwa fee hadi campus. Who are you? Ushikwe by the way mahali uko na upeleke kwa jela.
Ashikwa shutiwe shoot to kill.
No.
Let me tell you, and this is wrong for me to say, but if that is my sister or that is someone I know, your generation is going to end with you. Because why do you feel you should kill?
Kwani ni wanaume wangapi wameachwa?
Nataka kujua na distant cousin yako.
Amjaisikia ati kuna mtu amenunuliwa hadi nyumba mahali. Na huyu mwanamke akaenda hapo na mtu mwingine.
Na inaisha tu hivyo. People don't think about killing.
In fact mwanaume si kubeba panga. Mwanaume ni yule mtu mwenye anajua kucontrol emotions na hasira. Shame on you wherever you are.
Sasa like you know like I'm gonna nakaa nafikiria vitu umejaa umempiga panga ya kwanza ya pili ya tatu ya nne.
Sasa ameua msichana wa wenyewe.
A young life.
Jamaa ashikwe. Niulize mimi.
Or maybe they come to the same
look at me my sisters. Niulize mimi na wenzangu hatujawahi achwa. Kwani yeye huyo ni kuachwa gani aliachwa? Ako campus huyo kijana. Ni nini ameinvest kwa hiyo msichana?
Hakuna bro.
You may face the law and let the law judge you. Anyway, Zulfa, that was a by the way. Kama si by
it can never be a by the way.
That one is not just, even in the topic, but look it in piece of vibe.
Kuna story nyingine pia nilisoma jana. Kuna mwanaume ameua mwanamke kwa sababu alikuwa na suspect ana cheat.
Suspect.
So akamuua na watoto na akajiua. I don't know where we are heading to.
Why do people feel about just a moment, like I usually, why is your life intertwined with this person? Once you cheat ukwele kwe fiti enda wacha mimi tafute manyanga.
Enda una cheat na huko we si ati kwa ubaya nakupenda napenda.
People are psychos out here. I'm gonna say people are psychos out here.
Enda tu kwa ule
psychos. Cause like people should be right now wako under Cosmos na ma D5.
Let us stop.
People should be under drugs because watu hapa kwa akili wamefiatu. Killing someone.
Sasa iti mwanaume uko hapo hivyo. Yaani msichana kwa wakati aliamua maybe si ni aliona greener pasture ni nini ulifeli. Fanya bidii.
Sometimes these niggas be very toxic. Na mtu anataka kuambia ni toxic Felix. Ukishaambia ni toxic, they think ni mtu mwingine. Hapana bro, unaweza kuwa tumekuacha tu wewe. Seti juu kuna msemo mwingine huko. Na nikikuacha kwani who said that is it a covenant? Is this a covenant kwani? Kama hata harusi watu wana divorce. Watu ambao walifanya harusi ya more than 50 million or 100 million they divorce. Wewe bro unambea nini?
Sikia.
Unambea kibandasi ukambea
watu wameoana 10 years 15 years. Watu wanaachana. Those no one date just 2 months. Unainulia mtoto ya mtu panga. 1 year. In fact kwanza wewe ndio hatari kwa hiyo relationship.
Tunaona jiwezi niacha mimi. Umeinvest nini?
And those years si mchezo. 1 year 9 months. We hata wewe buda jo wewe kaa huko.
Why do someone go to killing one? Do you know back in and I'm sorry, in North Korea ukifanya makosa kama hiyo mnashikwa nyi wote kwa familia. Ni wote mnashikwa kwa familia. I would say yani just don't give me a purpose. Imagine now the mother, the brother, the father of that where you think about the last moments of someone was so painful. They were screaming. How do you harm someone that you say that you love? And these are the things that I hear.
Watching.
And I just want to become a vigilante. Vigilante mtu kama unamchukua huyu. And that is the last they ever heard of. Evil. There are a lot of comments up as a gypsy. A lot of comments. Kuna Obed Ndai, kuna nani mwingine. Kuna Mary Wainaina, and I'm gonna thank that person that have given out that information. Thank you so much. So Tilda, unaweza sema jina lako tumalizie tupatane show nyingine.
Guys, I'm Tilda.
Now before akidogo, I'm gonna tell girls, the moment you see the first red flag talk, of which kuna wengine wametulia tu wanapanga tu na kudunga na kisu kama ujui, but the moment you see it, don't say I'm gonna change this person. And that mentality of you young girl, you think you're gonna change that person, you cannot change them. That was their mother's responsibility. If they did not change them, hawezi mchange. Oh my god, naweza change Jemo, naweza change Sijui Brayo. Bitch, please, you cannot. And I'm not saying that there's anyone who is perfect, but the moment you see, ama someone says wewe siku moja kitunda kufanyia, toka uendage, usingoje uone nini utafanywa.
My grandmother always tell me, msichana wangu, ukiinuliwa hivi mkono
hata agonge ukuta,
hata si kugonga mahali, ameinua tu hivi, jua kuna siku itafanya nini? Italanda. So my friend, pack your things and go.
Me no meant to
Leave
raise
that
your voice,
place.
I'm sorry. My father has never done that, so you will not do that. Yeah. Piga shingo. Tebu malizia shit tuende.
Thank you guys. It's Tilda. But girls, let's take care in all. Ukiona relationship ni mbaya, just get out. Yani ukiona tu kale tu ama ka warning. But wacha niwape guys, just a small thing. Unakuanga na ka feeling of this person. This person is not
and your gut tells you.
Yeah.
But to ignore too.
This person is not good for you. Na unajua unakaa tu hapo. Tena next time kana kuambia but una ignore. So sometime venye kitu cha kuapenia
back when, sawa. I'm going to say there's this person that I dated that like when you get into a conflict they just keep quiet and they look at you.
Wani watu wabaya sana.
Ananyamaza tu, hata ushout, hata upiganishe nini, atakuwa tu anakuangalia like, you know, they will just look at you and smile. And I was like, where? Watch.
Oh, so guys, thank you for watching Kenya News Alert TV. We give you all information about the politics and you're so much free to come and join us anytime you want. Keep tuned here. I'm Tilda and thank you very much. Back to Felix.
Thank you so much guys for joining us, and I really appreciate you guys for your support. But when it comes to embarrassment just like this, in any piece of son, be gentlemen but don't be men. Wherever you are, you campus boys,
kijana shashikwa
sijui, wherever you are, young men and women, please remember that you are born with a purpose. You are not just born to die at this early age. So I'm very sorry for the family, and I'm also sorry for the other family from the boy side, because the boy is not going maybe to be yours anymore.
Even their life has ended too.
Where's it? By the way, where's it?
Life yake imeend.
Yeah,
imeend, utashikwa forever.
Forever.
So your life has ended.
Quite useless. Now, that is what maybe anaweza kuwa na deserve. So tuseme nini kasi hiyo. But the fact is, let us respect each other, bro. Watu wengi ndio wameachwa na vitu zingine zinakasope.
Hata watu wanafanywa vitu mbaya kuliko hiyo.
Mbaya. Kwani msichana alifanya nini hiyo? Alikukosea, but who are you to judge her with a death sentence? Anyway, thank you so much guys. We really appreciate. I think Kipchumba Murkomen is our live also in our channel. If possible, you can switch there. Mnamumsikize. He is trying to give his information after the Rigathi Gachagua speech yesterday. So thank you so much. May we meet again by Sasita. Bye.
Okay, so I'm gonna say hapa nasoma comments mbili. Kuna hiyo ya Obenda, I love is jealous, that's why tunauana, na kuna Gypsy anasema run before the red flag. Okay? Na Obenda anasema tukua ndoa ni kuvumilia. I'm gonna say no. No. Sawa. Hakuna kuvumilia. Once you see that, just go. So I've been your host Zulfa. Tupatane hapa saa 6 mchana mpaka saa 8. Bye bye.